This is Majak Radio.
Music Studio.
Good afternoon, our wonderful listeners. Welcome to the Soil Solution program that airs every Thursday from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. on Majak Radio 92.2 FM, broadcasting live from our studios in Bakau, Newtown South. And I am your host, Mariama Keita. Today's program focuses on the negative impact of inorganic manure to the soil. This program is dedicated to everyone who wakes up to a new day with a desire to make a positive impact on our soil, the future of sustainable agriculture in the Gambia and beyond, and to the farmers seeking better ways to nourish their crops without harming the soil. Our guest is Yaya Njai, who is responsible for taking care of the field trials on the cropping system and agroforestry program at the National Agricultural Research Institute. Welcome to the Soil Solution program, Yaya Njai.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity today. I am very happy to be with you guys today. I go by the name Yaya Njai, a student at the University of the Gambia and also on internship at the National Agricultural Research Institute. I take care of most of the field trials that took place at this place, Nare, at the headquarters, Brikama campus. Thank you.
To begin with, Mr. Njai, what is inorganic manure?
Okay. Inorganic manure, these are fertilizers that involve the intervention of human actions. Like they undergo through chemical processes. They are manufactured in factories to supply essential plant nutrients to plant materials. They are neither from animal or plant waste, but they are chemically manufactured to supply the nutrients to plants.
Okay. So what are the main problems in using inorganic manure in farming?
Yeah, there are a lot of problems associated with this inorganic manures, which are generally known as fertilizers. There are a lot of problems associated with them. Some of the problems are environmental pollution, soil degradation, and it leads to the loss of soil microorganisms. So these chemical fertilizers, they could be very harmful in another way around. Though they supply plants with nutrients at their readily form, but they are harmful as well because the use of them continuously, they may wash away to our water bodies, which pollute our water bodies and lead to the death of so many aquatic animals. And when it comes to the soil microorganisms, soil is a living thing, you understand? So it composed of so many things within the soil. So the continuous use of this inorganic fertilizer, it causes a negative impact to those soil living organisms because they are living things. They need so many things to grow. But these chemicals, they kill them or suppress their growth. And this thing, the land degradation, because the continuous use of this soil, the organic fertilizer, it adds organic matter to the soil, and this organic matter is what helps the soil to improve the soil structure. You understand? So without this organic manures, the soil structure is not improved. You understand? You are just adding the chemical stuff there, and it is just forcing the crops to grow without considering the soil nature.
So how does it affect soil health and fertility long term?
Yeah, it affects the fertility of the soil and the health of the soil because we understand that soil is a living thing. Soil comprises of so many things. You have the soil mineral materials, the air, the water, and the organic matter in the soil. So these microorganisms within the soil are responsible for nutrient recycling and decomposition of so many dead plants and animal stuffs in the soil. You understand? When plants are dead, die, decompose and the likes. These microorganisms are the ones responsible for decomposing them. So without these microorganisms in the soil, it will make it very, very hard for the soil nutrient to recycle. You understand? So the long-term effect that it will cause is it will lead to acidity. Understand? Most of these chemical fertilizers, they are manufactured, and the hard substance that we are seeing inside those bags are carriers of those nutrients. Nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and this thing, calcium. These white covers that you see, like the particles of those fertilizer are just carriers, which could be very harmful, and it could lead to lead the soil to high. It lowers the pH of the soil, which lead to acidity, and we all know that under acidic conditions, it affects the plant to take the nutrients at the required form. So these are some of the things it do, and the land degradation there, it increased the rate of erosion. You understand? The soil, there are so many ways that soil lose its nutrient. So erosion is one of them. Erosion is part of the things that wash away nutrients, either by wind or water. You understand?
Yes.
So without the proper use of this inorganic fertilizer, it increases the chances of nutrient wash away, either by water or air from the soil.
Thank you. So I engage farmers and agriculturists on how inorganic manure affects soil health negatively. Let's hear from them.
One, you have soil acidification and pH imbalance. There are many chemical fertilizers, especially those based on ammonium. They release hydrogen ions into the soil as they break down. Over time, this makes the soil acidic. Now, this change in pH can lock off on other essential nutrients like magnesium and calcium, making them unavailable to plants even if they are present in the soil. And the other one, that is the second one, is destruction of microorganisms. Now, healthy soil is a living ecosystem full of beneficial bacteria, fungi.
There are many benefits of inorganic manure to the soil. First of all, inorganic manure contains toxic materials that kills microorganisms in the soil. These microorganisms helps in aeration, that is the movement of air inside the soil. But their movement can cause pore spaces that helps the air to move freely and easily inside the soil. That contributes to the growth of plants. It can also cause pollution because those toxic materials again can pollute the soil, can pollute the water, which is harmful to not only the plants but also to the human beings that consume those plants.
Now, if you are using the inorganic fertilizers, that can destroy the soil, and then also it can destroy the plant because sometimes the soil composition will not be reached to its normal level. So, but if you are to use the inorganic composition without the organic, that can also bad effect on the soil. So here, the combination here is good, but without it, it can really reduce the soil acidity, and also imbalance, giving you the imbalance of the soil, meaning the soil will not function as it is expected. So here, we expect, we farmers, the farmers expect a better composition to make the soil rich in order to support the soil to do its almost best. So far, so good.
So based on the voices you had, what is your take on it?
Yeah, they are really right. They are really right. Those are the causes of inorganic fertilizer to the soil. When you see the part of pollution, the destruction of the soil structure, and in fact the killing of soil microorganisms one guy was saying like the soil microorganisms increase, it helps to improve the soil aeration. When it comes to the soil composition, air contains of 25% within the soil. So with the help of these microorganisms in the soil, it helps in the circulation of those gases within the soil, which plants usually take in. So they really help. And when it comes to pollution, it doesn't stop at polluting only the water bodies or the soil, the overall consumers. You know, when you overuse these inorganic fertilizers to the crops, the chemical content of the food that you're harvesting is different from pure organic produces. So the major harm that it will cause is to the consumers of those products, and which is not seen within a short duration. It takes time before you detect it, and it is killing gradually.
So how can farmers know if they are overusing inorganic fertilizers?
Yeah, there are so many ways to know if you are overusing the inorganic fertilizer, because all the bags that contain these inorganic fertilizers are being labeled. So there are required amount for every area of land that you are producing on. So the best ways to do in order to know if you are overusing these inorganic fertilizers is to test your soil. At the National Agricultural Research Institute, there is a body responsible for testing the soil, analyzing the nutrient content of the soil. So if you call them and they test the soil sample for you, you will be able to know how much quantity of inorganic fertilizer you're using and the health status of your soil.
So,
And in fact, with the observation of the crops, too much of this inorganic fertilizer, it encourages the vegetative growth of the crop. You will see the crop with too much leaves and growing very tall with a very small leaf.
So we will take a short music break and we'll open the lines for calls or messages after the break. Welcome back, and if you are just tuning in, this is the Soil Solution program on Majak Radio 92.2 FM. You can call or send a text message on 321-8297, 321-8297. So Mr. Njai will continue before any call or message.
Okay.
So what simple tests can listeners do to check their soil health?
Yeah, you can by testing maybe through the observation of the crops, and in fact there is a simple way that farmers do. Yeah, you dig the soil to the level of like 15 to 20 centimeter depth and count the microorganism content of the soil. Like there are some organisms like outworm. You understand? Outworm is always in a soil that is healthy. Outworm is never found in a soil that is not healthy. So with those simple observations, you will be able to know what is really happening within your soil.
So if you use inorganic manure to the soil, how does it affect the crops?
It affects the crops. It may lead to nutrient imbalance because some farmers don't really know which nutrient is needed by the crop. What they usually do is, you hear farmers saying like, I bought urea. In Mandinka, most of them will say ngamonokulosang and the likes. So what they do is they just go to the market, buy the stuffs and apply it to the crops. You understand? And crop needs so many nutrients to grow. You have the micronutrient and the macronutrient. So when it comes to the macronutrients, these are the ones they need in large quantity. And most of the time, those are the ones they sell in the market. Those are the NPK, the 6-20-10 and the 15-15-15. You have the urea as well. So there are other nutrients when it comes to this thing, when it comes to the growth of the crops, which are calcium, zinc, magnesium, and the likes. They are needed by the crops, but not in large quantity. So with the application of NPK all the time, you understand, it will lead to nutrient imbalance in the soil. There will be high content of NPK in the soil, while the other ones, which are needed by crops, may not be available.
So, what are the tips to improve soil fertility?
Yeah, there is a very easy way and a cheap way for that matter, because we understand that these inorganic fertilizers are very expensive, despite the fact, despite the effect they are doing on the soil, they are still expensive. So you apply these organic fertilizers.
Okay, we have a call from someone, then we can continue. Hello,
We are from Majak.
welcome to the program, Tijan.
Thank you so much. I have two questions again, and they are: does the inorganic fertilizer or manure used in the soil help fight against diseases or pests? The other question is: we have local farmers using inorganic fertilizers, and for some of them, their knowledge is not up there. So, do you think these local farmers should have officials or guidance in knowing how to spread this inorganic manure?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, caller. Like to go with his first question, which is, does they help in controlling these diseases or pests within the soil? Yeah, to my own knowledge, these inorganic fertilizers, their main role is to supply nutrients, not to fight against disease. You understand? But people use inorganic fertilizer like cattle dung and poultry manure and the likes. Those ones, they regulate the soil. They don't only stop at supplying the nutrients, but they regulate the soil. If the soil is acidic, they push the pH level to neutral, where it is more suitable for plant growth. When the soil is alkaline, they push it down to neutral. And this is to the second question that he asked was
Let's pick this call, then you can continue.
okay.
Hello,
Hello.
hello.
The program is interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, what I want to ask is, what are some of the steps or the ways that they are taking to make sure that farmers make their own fertilizers so that the use of inorganic manure will be decreased?
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, caller. Yeah, to continue with Tijan's second question,
Yes.
would be like reaching out to the extension workers, because in the country here we have extension workers all over, and the National Agricultural Research Institute also. If you get there, they will give you more advices. That will be helpful for his second question. And the last caller was like, what are the ways that they would use?
We are having another call.
Okay, you can let the person.
Okay.
Oh,
Hello,
okay.
hello, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I am Ibrahim by calling from Bakau.
Welcome to the program, Ibrahim.
Yeah, indeed, agriculture is important. I think conversations surrounding agriculture cannot be at the right time than this. And of course, the use of inorganic fertilizers. So, because I just want to ask, because as I am sustaining or getting some of these things that will help you to ensure that you use the inorganic fertilizer becomes the problem. That's why people are engaged in using the other time. So, noting that it's difficult to get this, what other steps could farmers also use to ensure that they get it from people where they get it? Because these are things that are made within us, and at times accessing them becomes a problem. So, and some individuals, instead of helping, they decide to downgrade you, telling you the other one is the better one. So, how should farmers respond to this to ensure that the use of inorganic fertilizer is promoted? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I think the question is similar to the last caller.
Yes.
It is still on the same line.
Yes.
What you will do is composting. You understand? Compost manure is the best thing. Compost comprises of so many plant materials and even the remains of animals. Even at the chicken, like every almost every day people cook. Your vegetables, when you peel them and the likes, those peels, just gather them together and make a compost. You understand? That compost will be rich. Instead of buying this inorganic fertilizers outside, you can use those to improve the soil fertility and in fact to regulate the soil. So those organic materials will help. You can use both the remains of plants, animals, and even the proper use of crop rotation. It will help.
All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello? Hello? Hello, caller? Hello, caller?
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My question is,
Yes.
what are the long-term effects of inorganic fertilizer used on soil health?
All right, thank you.
Yeah. The long-term effects of inorganic fertilizer to the soil is it leads to soil degradation. It does not improve the soil structure. And the soil structure is what helps the soil to hold the moisture for plant growth, to encourage the life of those microorganisms living within the soil, which help in the nutrient recycling. Because we understand that nitrogen, it undergoes a cycle. Nitrogen is in the air. So it is fixed to the soil through either plants and or some microbial organisms in the soil. So it undergoes series of steps before it reaches its right form where plants absorb it. You understand?
Yeah.
So the continuous use of inorganic fertilizer will lead to soil degradation, would lead to exposing the soil to erosion, and in fact it discourages the life of those living microorganisms within the soil.
All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
This is Aldo calling from
Well,
Krakow.
welcome to the program, Albob.
Thank you. It's an interesting program.
Thank you.
I have a question for Mr. Jamme.
All right, you can go on.
How well are they working towards sensitizing local farmers to know more about the inorganic manure fertilizers, you may say? And my second question is, how do organic fertilizers and inorganic fertilizers differ?
All right, thank you, Albob.
You're welcome.
Yeah, going with her question, when it comes to sensitizing farmers about this, there are so many programs that are going on, and there are so many training centers that enlighten people about this inorganic manures. Places like Chairman, GSI is in North Bank. You have so many other places, but Chairman is famous because of its organic farming.
Yeah.
You understand? And there is a farm here at Kabekel, Tusen. You go to my farm. So all those places, when you are into farming, you don't only have to farm within your own corner. You have to reach out to people that are doing the same thing as you're doing. It will help.
Yeah. So what is your final say on our topic for today, the soil solution?
My final say will be, it is very difficult to stay away from these inorganic fertilizers. Like to totally do away from it, it is really difficult. I can't say it is impossible, but it is tough. So what we encourage farmers to do is to limit the use of these inorganic fertilizers, like this NPKs and the likes. You reduce the use of them. Like you combine them with these organic materials. It helps. It will supply the soil with nutrients at their right form, and it will improve the soil structure, and it will encourage long-time growth. Yeah.
All right, dear listeners, this brings us to the end of the program. We have explored the negative impact of inorganic manure on our soil and the alternatives to sustain our land to grow a healthier future together. Thank you to our guests, Yaya and Jai, and to the listeners and for those that contributed to the program. It has been your weekly program, The Soil Solution, airing on Majak Radio 92.2 FM every Thursday from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Do join us next Thursday for more interesting topic. I am your host, Mariama Keita, and bye for now.
This is Majak Radio.